Hey everybody. Well, I didn't really think I'd make it this far. This video is about the same as before, and well, may the best poet win. Here goes nothing. Forgetfulness. The name of the author is the first to go, followed obediently by the title, the plot, the heartbreaking conclusion, the entire novel, which suddenly becomes one you have never read, never even heard of. As if one by one the memories you used to harbor decided to retire to the southern hemisphere of the brain, to a little fishing village, where there are no phones. Long ago you kissed the names of the 9 muses goodbye, and watched the quadratic equation pack its bag. And even now, as you memorize the order of the planets, something else is slipping away, a state flower perhaps, the address of an uncle, the capital of Paraguay. Whatever it is you are struggling to remember, it is not poised on the tip of your tongue, not even lurking in some obscure corner of your spleen. It has floated away down a dark mythological river whose name begins with an L as far as you can recall. Well on your own way to oblivion, where you will join those who have even forgotten how to swim and how to ride a bicycle. No wonder you rise in the middle of the night to look up the date of a famous battle in a book on war. No wonder the moon in the window seems to have drifted out of a love poem that you used to know by heart. The poem Forgetfulness by Billy Collins is about forgetting things over time. The speaker in the poem is a character of Billy Collins' poetic voice. In this case, it is an aged man struggling with forgetfulness. In the poem, he is reflecting on the loss of memories. It would be incorrect to say that the audience is the entire human race, though memory loss is something that everyone experiences. This old man is speaking to anyone who would listen, for his message is not an emergency, only a reflection on a later stage of life. Billy Collins proves his merit as a poet in this piece through his use of literary devices and meaningful references. He uses devices such as personification in line 10, hyperbole in lines 15 through 17, and also cliché in line 9. Collins makes every word count in the poem with figurative language, creating metaphorical meanings to enunciate the subject of the poem that is captured within the title. In the poem, Collins argues that forgetfulness is something no one can escape because it is a natural part of life, an epidemic that touches everyone eventually. There are various pieces of information in the poem that served as significant influences. The most obvious is likely the reference to the quadratic equation in line 10, which is something everyone learns in school and also something most people disremember. Others are harder to spot, such as the 9 muses in line 9, which are the goddesses of arts and literature from the Greek pantheon. Line 16 draws a connection between a person's spleen and their memories, which is part of the organs of the earth meridian. The most interesting, however, is the Lythe River mentioned in lines 17 through 18, one of the rivers in Hades whose waters erase all memories. Although this stage of forgetfulness may seem distant for most of us, the last stanza brings this reality to the doorstep of even a young student's mind. It poses a question that no one has been able to answer. Is the human memory comprised of finite space, and how does our subconscious decide which memories to discard and which ones to keep? We may never know the answer. But what we do know for certain is that Billy Collins was the author of this poem. The same cannot be said about my not-so-worthy opponent, William Shakespeare, who may have been nothing but a literary fraud.